Hey guys, I'm Holly C. I'm the founder of ChineseFootReflexology.com, and welcome to Humble Healer Shares Her Secret to Success: How to Make Money and Make a Difference. And with that title for this talk, I better be delivering the goods or be super humble. So this talk is for you if you have ever wondered if you're on the right path. Like, are you doing the right thing? Are you doing what you're meant to be? Or if you've ever wondered, can you make money following your soul's calling, doing what you're passionate about and making a difference in the world? Or maybe, you have no idea what you're supposed to be doing. Or have you ever felt like you're never going to make it? Like maybe you have a really tiny mailing list, or maybe you followed some expensive programs and you did everything that the coach or instructor said and you really didn't have the results that you were expecting. Perhaps you've invested a tremendous amount of time and effort, and after all the work that you've done, you ended up making maybe $100 or less, maybe even $0. If you've ever felt discouraged, paralyzed by perfection or indecision, or if you've ever worried that maybe I can't make it, maybe I have to go back to a quote-unquote real job. I know exactly how you felt, if you felt any of those things, because I've gone through that myself. I started out with no idea what I wanted to do, no income from it, putting in a lot of time and energy and effort, following other people's suggestions and programs without the results that they were promising. And then I discovered my secret or secrets to success. So I'm going to share them with you, but first let me tell you a bit about my story. So I actually worked in high tech for about a decade. I worked in Silicon Valley for a lot of big name internet companies, and the stress of working in this fast-paced industry, doing something that I was not passionate about, it really took a toll on my health. It actually made me sick. And I healed myself with Chinese reflexology. And of course, I was a little bit stubborn, following my head instead of my heart. And then I went back into high tech. And again, I was experiencing all sorts of health issues. And it got to the point where I was diagnosed with early stage macular degeneration. And I knew it was because of my thoughts that were running through my mind, and it was manifesting in my body because I would sit in front of my computer screen staring at that monitor thinking, I hate what I'm looking at. I can't stand looking at the screen. And every cell in my body wanted to just get up out of that chair, walk out the door, and never come back. But I made myself stay until the messages that I was telling myself manifested in physical symptoms, because macular degeneration is actually where you lose the central focus of your vision. So what better way for my body to respond to my thoughts and say, hey, you don't like what you're looking at? Well, we will make sure that you don't see. So long story short, I completely healed myself of the macular degeneration, and I have no signs of it. My eyes are perfectly healthy. And I did that with Chinese reflexology and the mind-body connection and changing my life. So I'd love to say, hey, right after I did that, I started my business and everything, expanded and grew, but that's not quite how it went. What I was doing was I was studying traditional Chinese medicine. That was something I was passionate about. And then I had a baby. And then I wrote here on the slide, I ambled about aimlessly. Because you hear these stories from people who have, overcome, wherever they started from, and now they're making hundreds of thousands of dollars. And it almost seemed like it happened overnight. And they left out the part where they were ambling about aimlessly. I'm not going to leave that out because I want this story, my story, to tell you what the real story was, because if your story is like that, there's nothing wrong with you. You're actually on your right path. There's a great deal of ambling about aimlessly. So this doesn't mean I was like eating bonbons and watching TV, but I was trying really hard to figure out a way to make money, to do it in a way that I felt was in integrity with myself, that was, helpful to the planet, and I couldn't figure it out. But One day, I started a blog at my kitchen table, and it was really inspired by the moms in the Stay-at-Home Moms Club that I belonged to. And all the moms, they'd share how someone in the family, kid would get sick, come down with a cold, all the kids would get sick, then the husband would get sick, and then after the mom has taken care of everyone, she would get sick. And so I shared some Chinese reflexology points that would help these moms get over a cold faster, and also to help prevent one when the rest of the family, came down with a cold. And so I put up this article on my blog, and then, it'd be nice to say, hey, everything was again coming up roses and wonderful, but no, it took me a while to figure out that this was the direction to go in. So again, I was trying all these different things that my head was telling me to do, and not what my heart was, because I had originally been drawn to study Chinese medicine, but I wasn't following through on it. And it took me a while to realize I was passionate to learn about it because I wanted to understand how the Chinese reflexology healed me. And I had sort of an epiphany, which I will share with you, which caused me to start focusing on that Chinese reflexology blog. And then basically the rest is history, or her story. So my book, Soul Guidance, Ancient Secrets of Chinese Reflexology to Heal the Body, Mind, Heart, and Spirit, was published by Hay House, and it became an international bestseller on Amazon's websites around the world. And my blog, it has reached millions of people worldwide. The articles have been read up, millions of page views over the years. And I grew a business teaching people Chinese reflexology and the mind-body connection. And that business income replaced my high-tech income. And so I teach people how to heal themselves. I empower them to take command of their health and vitality. And the thing that is most rewarding is that I'm making a difference in people's lives, a tangible difference. There are students who have, overcome night blindness. One student, she had a uterine fibroid that normally she would get an operation for because she'd had, this recur in the past. But she was practicing the Chinese reflexology and what she learned, and I taught in my classes and courses, and her fibroid shrank and it was gone the next time she went to go get it checked. Students who have overcome insomnia so that they're sleeping better, increased energy levels, students with brain fog, and that clears, they're feeling, they're thinking sharper. Funny that I had a little brain stumble there. It's because I'm speaking on the fly. I don't actually have a script. And I'll share why in just a moment too. It's one of my secrets. Students who have improved their nearsightedness, reduced their eyeglass prescription. One student, she used to get recurring seizures for years, and then as she practiced the Chinese reflexology and made shifts in her life, her seizures are gone now. In addition to helping people transform their health and their well-being and their lives, I've created a community of intelligent, intuitive introverts. Yes, I'm an introvert. Well, these are students who are passionate about healing, passionate about learning, and they want to make the world a better place. So I'm here to tell you, whatever your passion is, whatever your soul calling is, even if you don't know what it is, you are on the right path, and you can create whatever it is that your heart and soul desires and make money doing it. I'm living proof that this can be done. I mean, teaching people Chinese reflexology, like here's how you poke yourself with a stick on your foot. Like, I started before Zoom even existed, and I found a way, I found my path, and you can find your path too. So let me share some of my secrets with you. And they're also action items. I've got 3 to share with you. So let's start with the first one, which is You Be You. So what does this acronym mean? It's a secret. Now, actually, it's pretty straightforward. It is You Be You. So when I say You Be You, I really mean be you, be yourself. So this action item is actually really easy. You don't have to do anything. And that takes a whole load off, like a whole weight that you have to, act a certain way, speak a certain way, dress a certain way. This t-shirt, I put it on this morning. I didn't even change clothes to record this video. This hair, I went swimming just earlier today, and I didn't have my shampoo with me. I forgot to bring it, and so I just used the soap dispenser at the pool. And so it's all dry and sticking up and not smooth and sleek. It's okay. So I want to tell you that, or I want to give you permission to be yourself, and that this is actually the best way for you to grow your business and make money, because it's also the easiest way to do it. You don't have to try to be something that you're not, and then you're authentic. Authentic is this big buzzword, be authentic, but you don't have to do authentic. Like, you don't have to do anything to be authentic. All you have to do is be yourself. And when you are being yourself, this naturally leads to secret number 2, or action item number 2, which is follow your heart. So when I say follow your heart, I'm not talking about emotions like, oh, I love this place to live or whatever. I'm talking about your heart, as in your heart connection to your soul. So the action item, like for you to do next, is I would like you, the next time you're trying to make a decision for your business or for making money, and you're thinking about it, you're like going, should I do this? Should I do that? I want you to bring your attention within to your heart and ask yourself, ask your heart, what do you want to do? And make that choice. So don't think about it, but just go with the feeling. Go with where your heart is leading you. Go with where your intuition is guiding you. Because that's why I'm filming this video without any scripting. I'm making the slides on the fly. I'm recording and editing at the same time while I'm recording this. And I'm really not cutting out anything other than, some blah, blah, blah speaking gaffes. I'm actually leaving quite a few ums and you-knows in here. Now you'll never be able to unhear when I say those. There we go. There's one right there. But I'm doing this because it is what my heart told me to do. So logically, my mind is like, this is crazy. But my heart is like, do this, because if I step back and I, think about it, but more feel about it, it feels more real. It feels more authentic. And I'm sharing this because, well, we see so many people have like these polished packages about who they are, how they speak, how they present themselves, and it's not the truth. And so when you see that and you aspire to that, it's almost like, the ads in the magazine that are airbrushed. It's like people will do that with, trying to be, online gurus or coaches. It's like they've airbrushed themselves so that you look at yourself and your progress and you go, I can't reach that. That's unattainable, and it's discouraging to people. And I want to make this like real and as truthful as possible, because it's not a smooth, easy sailing where you go from, you're struggling and then boom, 6 months later you're making 6 figures. That's not the real path. And to try to strive for that is like setting yourself up to be disappointed, and it is a disservice to the planet. It's a disservice to humanity, because there's something that you have to share that is unique to you. So you be you, and it is something that is going to make a difference. It's going to inspire others. It's going to uplift others. And I want you to hold on to that. Don't get distracted by people telling you you have to do it a certain way. You hold true to what is you, and you be you. So re-emphasizing secret number 1. And secret number 2 is to make that choice from the heart. And you don't know where it's going to lead, and that's okay. Which leads me to secret number 3, which is just jump. So it's like the Nike ad, just do it. But there's a little bit of twist here. It's not just jump and do something because your brain said to do it. You want to act and do the jump because your heart is calling you to do it. And as soon as you feel that heart calling, it's not like it's like, calling in, dialing in every day at the same time. It just is a feeling, something that's on your mind. Maybe even right now, there's something that you've been thinking of doing and you've been putting it off because usually your heart and soul is calling you to do something that makes you uncomfortable, because your journey to make a difference in the world, it isn't about, you go from this and then boom, everything is wonderful. I keep mentioning this because there's going to be a path along the way. And the path is not straight. The path is not perfect every time. And it's part of the journey, part of the soul journey, because how you expand and how you grow is by looking within and overcoming struggle, by, looking at how you expand beyond your limitations that you have today. So that's what I mean about just jump. You can't learn what's working or not working until you actually do something. So you let go of the perfectionism, let go of the indecision, and just tune into your heart. So these three things, me being myself, embracing those aspects of myself, which even though, logically I couldn't figure out how could I take this reflexology and turn it into a business, like now that it exists, it seems clear as day. But back in the day, I had no idea. And then following my heart, that was the biggest thing that changed things for me, was that one day while I was still, ambling about aimlessly and struggling, I thought to myself, what if I just followed my heart? And from that day, every decision I made, I chose from my heart. And, of course, being super analytical, there was a bit of a struggle. I ambled about in the struggle for a bit too. But I always kept sight of that focus to follow my heart, listen to my heart and soul. And that's what led me to grow my business. It led to opportunities. It led to, knowing which opportunities to follow. And probably has saved me a ton of time, a ton of money, a ton of energy. And in terms of just jumping, that was the other key critical thing, which was whenever I had a little inkling to do something, instead of spending a lot of time, debating whether to do it or trying to plan it out in ahead, just to jump in, just like I'm filming this video right now. All I knew was I'm going to record it on a Friday, and I knew nothing else. And here I am on Friday, just filming this video. And that's how I grew my business. That's how I grew a business, teaching some obscure ancient Chinese healing methodology online, and some woo-woo mind-body connection stuff, and making a difference in people's lives. So you can do this too. So just follow your heart and just dive right in and you be you, because when you're following your heart and soul, then you're really being your true authentic self. Now, I know, like some people, and putting my hand up for this too, when I started this journey and trying to follow my heart, sometimes it would be hard because I'd hear this voice in my head and I'd hear this other voice in my head, and which voice is my head and which voice is my heart and soul. So if you have any trouble discerning between the two, or perhaps you've got the opposite where you're always, tuning in to the universe and your guidance, but how do you ground that into this physical dimension and reality and turn that into tangible steps? So if either of those two cases apply to you, then I invite you to join me for the Spiritual Productivity Workshop, where you'll turn your intuition into action and results. So I'll share with you how you can get more done with less effort, and it's through spiritual productivity. You'll learn how to experience more ease and flow in your life, and that leads to amazing health. It leads to happiness, it leads to prosperity, and it leads you to unleashing your greatest potential. So if you need help getting clarity on your soul purpose, if you find that sometimes you take 2 steps forward and 1 step back, then you'll also uncover some conscious blocks that might be stopping you from moving forward. And you'll learn how to better hear or tune into your inner guidance to know what's the next tangible action step for you. So you can check out the Summit website to find the date and time for the live workshop, and I look forward to seeing you there. Thank you for joining me for this talk, and look forward to reconnecting with you soon. Bye for now.